Welcome to the Popish plot. I'm Nate.
And I'm Jessica.
And I'm Mike.
And we're here once again with our weekly Zoom check-in. See how things are going among the Popish plotters. How are you doing, Mike?
Well, I will say that my curiosity is piqued. Because as much as I'm a fan of headgear, something must have prompted Jessica to be wearing such a magnificent hat. I wonder what it could be.
It is because our happy birthday hats are currently holding out ornaments and things. And so it is my birthday, and I am wearing this hat because I found it in the studio.
And it was not full of holiday ornaments.
It was not full of holiday ornaments.
Well, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yes.
29 years old. That's amazing.
It is. And if you are watching this on the day that it airs, in 2020, it is Jessica's birthday today. I won't say how old she is, but she probably will tell you anyways. There's an interesting story, I believe, that goes along with it.
Yes. I had suggested beforehand, I think possibly years beforehand, that this year I should have a birthday party just to mess with everyone. Because everyone on their 40th birthday is like, oh, it's my 39th birthday. So if you had a 39th birthday party, they'd all be confused that you were actually 39. And I got various people to say that's ingenious and stuff. And they were totally cool with it. And now we can't have large parties right now. So.
And I was working on plans, and fortunately the quarantine hit in time for me to not have to have made any large commitments.
So you had a perfect plan, which was then undone by a global pandemic.
Yes, the pandemic.
That's a pretty good excuse. Plus, I bet if you run the same idea next year, because you didn't have this year's birthday party, I think it'll be relatively easy to convince people about next year.
But now, see, it takes all the irony out of it, because it will actually be her 40th birthday, so therefore her calling it her 39th will, be apropos.
I understand, but you've got to embrace the pragmatic spirit of somebody with a February 29th birthday and just make the best of it. Because, okay, sure, technically this is only my 4th birthday, but I'm 16 years old. Give me my driver's license.
Yes.
I actually have a friend. They grew up in the house next to me when I was young, who is a 49th of February. So every 4 years they have a really big party.
Nice.
So anyways, how has your week been, Michael?
I've had a pretty good week.
That's good. As far as I'm aware, I've had a pretty good week. I mean, I got the lawn mowed earlier this week. For those of our viewers who may have been watching the live stream from our parish yesterday, I was reader number 1, which is a job which a reader job is one I don't generally get as much of as I'd like, because quite oftentimes I'm already scheduled for doing something else.
He constantly complains to the person in charge of scheduling about this.
I do.
Well, okay. One, I love the fact that you call them preciouses.
Yes.
It's just the right degree of golemness. But I'm going to posit that I don't think it's because you're doing other things that you don't get to read that often. When our parish is functioning normally, we just have a lot of people signed up as readers. So depending on what mass you're signed up for, your turn doesn't come around that often.
Well, I suppose that's fair.
Whereas
before I became the defunct video guy for the Sunday 4 p.m. Or the de facto, not defunct, the de facto video guy.
Yes, you're very funked.
Well, it is now, because now it's been taken over by the kid who runs the streams.
Don't cross the stream.
I'd like to do, by the way, but we won't get into that.
Yeah, it's unseemly to be jealous of a teenager.
Exactly. But anyways, no. Before I was doing that, it felt like I got more opportunities to read on a regular basis, whereas now I maybe get one a quarter, maybe.
Perhaps, but it is largely due to the fact of not being able to bilocate. in my general rule of we don't do more than 3 separate distinct jobs at any mass.
I think that's a reasonable standard.
At the point at which you get 4, it is just too much work.
Mm-hmm.
One of those jobs is really getting phoned in at 4. Right. One of those preciouses is really getting phoned in when she got 4 of them.
Well, there are preciouses and there are preciouses. Because yes, it's always an honor to serve. And no, we are not succumbing to the idea that the only way to actively participate in mass is to have a job. But it's a little more precious to be a reader than to be, a substitute usher.
Yes. But at least I'm not getting the one that supersedes all others. As there's one precious that unfortunately makes it impossible to do all the other preciouses. Altar server.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well,
I mean, theoretically, you could be an altar server and still be an EEM, or you could be an altar server and still be a reader. But in general, the person who's getting picked to fill in for the altar server slot is one who doesn't have anything else going on, so we know we can commit him to that.
Yeah, the only thing that gives me pause really is a daily mass, where I think one Ash Wednesday or something, I was several things. I was altar server, I was distributing, I was an EEM.
Well, I think the most I've done, the most preciouses I've had on any given mass was 4, in that I read, then filmed the homily, then had to quick run out to the camera to the camera that was at the back of the church to then go and separately film a baptism, and then was back up to the front to serve as a extraordinary minister of Eucharist.
Yes, and the problem is, if Nate is the altar server, we have run out of anyone that could be an altar server, because you do not want your altar server to be taller than you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It constantly has to move, so it's like no one can see anything but the back of your back.
So Nate should only be an altar server for Father Zach, who's 8.5 feet tall.
Exactly. He'll probably be like, I can finally read the page. It's not all the way on the ground.
But it's always kind of fun, as I'm sure you can acknowledge. That it's always kind of fun to have Father at the end of Mass point out that it is so rare that he ends up with an altar server that has a full beard.
So recently, a picture from my youth was posted to the Facebook, and somebody we know from the parish was like, I'm surprised to see you without a beard. Of course, in that picture, I'm 2 years old.
Listen, whenever you have any pictures of your family, I can't tell which one you are because there's no beard in the mustache.
I don't know. I might have
I want to draw one on your picture of your baby.
I was actually just going to suggest I might have to get a copy of that photo and actually draw in a properly curly mustache and a full beard.
Well, it's fair. Our good friend Santa Claus, whenever he's telling stories of his youth, honest to goodness, what I'm picturing is a small child with his grown-up head. So I picture the 6-year-old Santa Claus with a big white beard.
Yeah.
Yes. And when he's telling stories when he was like in the military, as a crew cut, huge beard.
Yeah.
I know that's against regulations, but I can't imagine him without it.
Nice high and tight, you know.
Mm-hmm. Big bushy beard.
Big bushy beard.
He's a Delta Force operator. They can grow facial hair. So, Jess.
Yes.
For the quarantine celebration of your birthday, should we arrange for a long line of cars to drive by and to honk and wave signs, as I've seen so often on the news coverage of the quarantine? That kind of really public display definitely feels like your speed.
No, because you'd have to let me know ahead of time, because usually I hang out in areas where I would not see you go by, and I would just assume the neighbors were making noise.
We organize a big caravan and people drive by and you're just in the basement reading.
Yeah.
I'm then he's working on a car horn next door.
I'll get right on that.
Now, if you want to surprise her, you could still go and arrange it and just text me, and I'll get her upstairs. But
I need you to go upstairs. Why? No reason. Just do it.
I think the mail's here. It's a Sunday.
Well, unfortunately, the mail does arrive on Sundays now.
Occasionally, it does.
See, our mail that is supposed to arrive on Sunday, for packages and stuff, simply says something happened and it'll arrive tomorrow, even though as of Saturday night, it was in the local post office. So there's no reason. They're just like, yeah, we're not delivering on Sunday, no matter what the package says.
Mm-hmm.
But as I've talked with other people, I just wish there was an option where you could just change it slightly. Because, usually there's, I want it 2 to 3 business days, or, I don't care when I get it, or, give it to me tomorrow. I will pay twice in shipping that I bought the item. But there's no, you know what? Just throw an extra day on. I know it's not arriving on Sunday. Don't give me false hope.
Well, I think that's implicit in the business day, but I don't know. You're right. It hasn't kept
things that are slow boat from China. So
that'd be a great option. Slow boat from China.
It actually is an option. They don't advertise it as that, but occasionally you go and you buy something and it's like, yeah, it'll be there in like 37 days.
It's in a container ship.
Yeah.
It's on a container ship traveling from China. It'll get there.
There's a number of times when, I have a birthday present for someone picked out, and I'm like, never mind.
Yeah, it advertises as free delivery, but it does not advertise as prime free delivery.
Listen, you can have it quick or you can have it cheap, not both.
I actually like the one that there's one that says here we have 3 types of service: quick, cheap, and good. You can pick 2.
Mm-hmm.
Quick and cheap is not good. Good and cheap is not quick.
Mm-mm.
Quick and good is not cheap.
Mm-hmm. I like it. I like it.
All right, so go down below, hit the subscribe button and the bell next to it so you get notified of our next episode, which will be tomorrow. Hit the like button next to it, because come on, how could you not like Jessica's birthday?
It's her birthday!
Exactly. And then go down below and post your happy birthday wishes down there for her. Just be cheerful.
Bonus points for the person who knows the perfect happy birthday song to post.
Yes. We will let the birthday girl choose.
You guys aren't in the running because you know what the song is.
That's correct.
That's true. Dang,
and until next time, remember to live your faith.
Love your faith.
Share that love.